Hey, you guys, it's Sunny. And now I'm going to show you a little bit about keeping organized. Gosh, this is so important. And so I want to make some big tips to you. Some of these are things that I'm still learning to do. Number one is to try and make it so that you minimize the number of browser windows that you have open. This is something that I've struggled with for years and years and years, and I'm just now starting to get on top of it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to share my screen. So that's the first thought. Number one, make sure that you are trying to minimize the number of browser windows that you have open so you're not confused, right? Honestly, 5 is plenty. I'm trying to keep it less than 5. And usually you do not need more than 5 tabs. Actually, I said browser windows. Usually I have 2 browser windows going with no more than 5 tabs at a time. And this just helps make you not feel overwhelmed. When you're done with something, go ahead and close it out. Now, what I want to show you is the way that I'm trying to organize my projects, and also how you can use screenshots to help you. Now, screenshots are something that when I'm watching a presentation and I think there's something cool that maybe I want to try and remember and maybe put into my own kind of slide, I'm going to take a screenshot of it. On a Mac, that's really easy to do. Command Shift and number 4, okay, to take a screenshot. So if I go down here on my keyboard and I'm going to put Command Shift 4, and you see this turns into a little target thing. And then you just click and drag what you want to take a screenshot of, like that, okay? And there it is, right? So now this screenshot is going to show up in my recents folder on a Mac, or oftentimes some computers have it set up so it goes into a screenshot folder. But what's important is after you've taken a screenshot, you need to do something with it. Otherwise, you're going to have to reopen it later and find out what the heck was that screenshot, right? So while I'm talking about screenshots right now, I want to go ahead and show you how I would manage this. And so always when you're trying to scoot things around in your computer, you're going to open up 2 of your Finder windows, right? And I make it so that there's enough room for me to see everything. So if I can move me out of the way. Now, on my desktop, right now, the screenshots that I take are ending up on my desktop. I got a bunch of screenshots because I watched a couple presentations and I wanted to take notes so that I could try and do something like that. All right, so with these screenshots, I want them to go into a file together. Like if they're all from one presentation, I want them to go into that file. And so over here on my desktop, I'm going to go right to my desktop again. So now I've got sort of 2 matching windows here. And if you remember that we have our filing system, I like to use the, well, some people call it para. I actually call it PAR because I don't really have an archive. My reference is my archive. Projects. And this here is a list of all my projects that I'm working on right now. You see, I've got 2, maybe I have too many projects, but I'm working on, those are all my projects and they all mean something to me, okay? So when I find something that has to do with the project, I'm going to stick it in there, okay? And then I can make it small. Areas. This is not projects, but this is the different areas like family, finances, health, pictures, music, home, church, professional development, travel. And actually, I have work here. Now, sometimes I think, I try and use this not for new ongoing projects. All right. So this work file, if I'm doing something new with work, I'm going to put it up in projects. And the next one we have is reference. And in reference, what I try and do is I create folders that it's alphabetical. It's things I'm going to look for. If I'm looking for something about acupressure, I'm going to type in acupressure, and this makes it searchable. I mean, it's searchable. You can search for these things. And if you know kind of what you're going to name it, it makes it easy to find. And so my A to Z file, it's growing all the time. I'm adding things all the time. Okay. And so the last one is for review. And so in review, I'm going to put things that I want to read. Okay. So if there's something that I'm wanting to read or look at or that's not pressing, that is not on a deadline, because if it's on a deadline, I'm going to put it on my calendar, but not on a deadline. Something like if I have a little time, I might go into review and read that. So now let's talk about how we're going to deal with all these screenshots. So these screenshots, the first thing you want to notice is that when you look at these screenshots, it tells you what time you took the screenshots. And then I'm going to select that one. Now I got them all. When they're in a list, that's easier. So you can watch me struggle. Somebody can tell me how to do that. I'm going to pull it over and put them into my LifeWave science presentation. Okay. And so now I still have a bunch more. And some of these were from a recent training that I did. And so I'm going to select all of these. And first I'm going to find where I'm going to put it, right? So we go to desktop, and this is all going to go into 2CC. Let's see if we got, so I'm going to make a new file in there. It's always better to have a folder, right? And that's going to be, now I want that to be in my 2CCX. I'm going to get rid of that. Okay. go back to my desktop and go to 2CC and then get a new folder. And this is going to be funnel hacking live. Screenshots. Okay. And now I'm going to put all these in there. Boom, boom. Go all the way down here. This is a several day awesome thing that I attended. And put all those into funnel hacking live. Oh, oops. Screenshots. Now there's my desktop. Okay, so that's really what we want, to have a desktop like that. And here and so once again, I use the PAR, my own program, projects, areas, reference, review. All right, archives is Para has archives. I don't do archives because my archives are in my reference. And this is something that you can do what you want. And the goal would be to have it be consistent across all your devices. If you have more than one computer, you're able to find things easily. And what's nice is, like, for instance, with the iCloud, you can share from device to device, making it much easier. Okay, so we went over screenshots and we went over trying to keep it organized. And so I hope that is helpful to you to remember only 2 browser windows open, no more than 5 tabs open at a time. So you don't confuse yourself. Close things down when you don't need it. And right now, I'm going to go ahead and close these things down because I'm not using them anymore. And if you stay organized, it will make it easier for you to not feel like you got cluttered brain syndrome. We want to find the one thing that we're working on and keep going until that one thing is done. All right. And I can't wait to see you on the next video. Have an awesome day.